Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me know how the audio and the video is coming across. Hopefully, you're having an awesome Monday. I know I am. Things are working out pretty good tonight. I think we're going to be in good shape for a good live show here. With any luck, if all the technical stuff works out. YouTube's been on a roll lately. We've had good upload bandwidth, no problems. Truly impressed actually lately. Things seem to be turning around. And I'm just gonna check. Hey guys, there we go. I found that phantom window. Got it. Alright guys, how's things? I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hopefully you managed to, a few of you managed to tune in for the impromptu live broadcast on Saturday night. That was a lot of fun. Sorry it's not up for replay, guys. You have to catch it live. And Ken says we're good. All right, thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. We are in good shape. Guys, as usual, this is your Monday Night Tech Talk Live with me, your host, Eric. Usually we try and host things from all around YouTube and all kinds of good stuff. But this week, we have a bit more for you. So let's go ahead and get into things here. See if I can get things queued up. All right, guys. As usual, viewer questions throughout. Throw them in the chat. We'll try and answer them as best we can. If not, plenty of people here that will answer your questions. We'll try and get to some tech news. The viewer challenge this week. Some stuff on 3D printing. Lots of stuff on 3D printing tonight, guys. Some stuff from the community, hackers, makers, inventors, you name it. Some stuff from the shop. Upcoming sneak peek of projects here on the channel, but I mistitled this slide. We have guest speakers. We have some guest stars here with us tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and get them queued up here momentarily. We're good. Glitch says 5x5. We are in good shape. So I'll see if I can get things to work here. What we have is we have some guests with us tonight, and let's see if we can bring them in if we're lucky. Eric can make things work. We have Noe and Pedro here from Adafruit. Hey, Noe and Pedro, how are you tonight?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hi, Eric. We are hanging out here.
We are good.
We're excited to be on the show. How's everybody doing?
Thank you for joining us tonight, guys. For anyone not familiar with Noe and Pedro, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Noe Ruiz. I'm a designer at Adafruit. Joining me is my brother Pedro.
Hey guys, I'm Pedro Ruiz. I'm creative tech at Adafruit.
Yeah, it feels like we're on the 3D Hangout show, but
Right.
like it's a little different. Yeah. So we're two brothers, obviously, and we were born here in South Florida, and we sort of run our home studio here, our house in Florida. And behind us is actually our living room. We have a wall of 3D printers that we've acquired over the years. Once you get one, they just sort of duplicate. So that's that. But do you want to give us the rundown, sort of how we got started, Pedro?
So we've been doing like video production, motion graphics, and 3D animation for a long time now.
Yeah, it's like in 2001, like straight out of high school, we started doing stuff. We sort of started our own company, like doing design services, like Pedro said, in 2010. We called ourselves Pixel Inc. So if you ever look at our YouTube channel, Pixel 3D, you can see a lot of our sort of older project videos and things. But we've always sort of been doing tutorials and things. And sort of along the way, we've always been passionate about photography and video stuff. So that's sort of our background mainly. And we did a lot of design services for a lot of different companies. Zynga, just sort of random other companies like game studios and things. I've done a little bit of audio production too, so I've done that. Pedro, you were more on the video side.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff for like broadcast, stuff for like you were saying Zynga,
Sure.
Land Rover, Red Bull.
Oh,
a lot of like
forgot about
UI stuff for like L'Oreal. So a lot of iPhone, iPad application work, a lot of video game work. And it's pretty much the background story on us.
Yeah, and sort of how we got into how-to tutorial videos. It's probably around 2006 when we got like our first like design gig.
Yeah, so in corporate, doing a lot of doing like a lot of the design work and web design stuff. A lot of our colleagues, weren't really up to doing
when you were collaborating with them, they'd have like kind of sloppy files. So we figured, hey, let's make some tutorials on how to, I don't know, name layers.
Yeah, that's
like
what it all
stuff like
started
that.
out with. Yeah, just because they wouldn't name their PSD layers in Photoshop.
So we started doing that.
Videos,
and that was sort of before YouTube and before like the Envato, PSD, Toots type stuff. But we've always liked that. We've always liked like Photoshop guys. So we thought, let's try to do something like that, but a little bit different. So that's where our sort of channel was born. And how we got into 3D printing, I guess in 2012, we got our first MakerBot replicator. Back when MakerBot was like awesome and open source still. So it was like right after CES, you saw it and you're like, holy crap, this thing's awesome. I didn't have any modeling or 3D modeling skills, but Pedro saw it and was like, this is something we should take a look at.
Yeah, I mean, all throughout college, I saw like the rep wrap and what people were doing with that. And now, just being a designer, I was always like, oh man, it would be so cool if I knew how to do electronics and things. So it was always like, in the corner of my eye, going, one day, maybe when it's not a kit, it's all assembled. And
the
2002, it was like, oh my god, finally my chance is here. So I quickly ordered one and
waited 6 months. The waiting time was crazy, but anyway, we eventually got one. And we did. Like, I didn't know what to do with it. I thought it was a bad idea. But you're like, all right, I got some. You had some assets already from like some of the video games that you've made, like your light cycle bike.
Yeah.
Printed that out, and I was like, oh, I want to make like some cool designer planetary stuff because you cultivate carnivorous plants, which is another story later. But I started doing like these little like money, like Kid Robot type stuff, but like as a tiki and with like Venus flytrap sticking out of their head. So, we did a lot of different things like that. Home decor was another thing, gadget accessories. And then we created our Etsy shop from there. And we were like, this is kind of cool. Let's see if we can sort of expand our design services.
Rolled it into the services we were doing before and just kept taking off that way.
Yeah, so we added in our sort of repertoire. So 3D printing was new. And we started some meetups. And we sort of helped found our little makerspace out here. We just sort of came in and showed us some of their projects. And
we did a lot of work with like the city and the government here in West Palm, and had access to a lot of the buildings and facilities. So we started some of that.
It was a lot of fun. So we were just getting our stuff out there, and we attended our first Maker Fair in 2012, which was a lot of fun. We visited the MakerBot store when it first opened, and it's funny how we didn't know about Adafruit at that point. It's like it was right around the corner. We didn't know about it. But it's so sort of how we got into electronics. I think in late 2012, we purchased our first Makey.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, banana piano, that's kind of cool. So what I did is I took it and I was like, I want to make a little MIDI guitar with like arcade buttons. So that's what I made. And I put that together and it took, off and on like 2 or 3 months or something like that. But Pedro was like, I want to put some lights in our designs. I want to light up our designs, which just sounds like easy, but we didn't really know what to do. Like, it started off with like normal stuff, and somehow you found Adafruit.
Yeah, just looking for tutorials. I always knew again what Arduinos were, but again, I didn't know like how to write anything. I didn't know how to even where to get libraries for all this stuff. And just searching around, I found Adafruit and found out the learning system. And I was like, oh my god, they have a step-by-step of how to do this. You can just copy and paste code and like modify it. I was like, this is
fun.
This is what I've been waiting for. Yeah.
So it was a little bit of that, and then I think
just 1 second, if you guys could back up, I didn't. So maybe some of the others here, I didn't even know about your standalone YouTube channel. I didn't post it in the description. My bad. Sorry, guys. I'll post it in after. I'll fix that oversight. But
no, it's fine. It's always embarrassing having people watch
all
their stuff.
It's so cool.
Do you guys still publish to your YouTube channel?
No, unfortunately, no. It's all Adafruit now.
Any plans on going back to it all, or doing both?
We've talked about like doing vlog stuff, but it's my god, the Adafruit stuff just engulfs so much that it's like we'll just roll it into the 3D show somehow.
That's right. We end up just putting everything in the 3D show. But yeah.
Oh, very cool. I thought I'd share that because until last week, I had no idea it was there. That was an oversight on my part. But
anything that's there will somehow find its way to migrate over to the Adafruit channel.
Yeah.
So they'll eventually see it.
Okay.
So you guys are enjoying working with Adafruit now?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those dream jobs that you just never knew existed, or because we've worked with a lot of startups before that, the boss is always like, the freaking idiot who doesn't know how to code or, doesn't know exactly which way, always takes the wrong, direction.
They have like an exit strategy, like, all right, how do I sell this company? Everybody seems to be on that boat, but it was kind of fun how you asked a question. Like the first thing you saw was Becky's show, Wearable Wednesday. So you were watching the show, and we asked a question, and we actually won something. You won what was
color
it?
sensor.
Yeah, a color sensor. So you actually took that color sensor and you made a project around it. And then later, like a couple weeks later, we attended their show and tell, and that's where I got to show off my MIDI guitar. You got to show off your light robot thing, and they were like, "This is pretty cool." So they hit us up on email, and they said, "We have this new Bluefruit chip, Easy Key Bluefruit," and they're like, "Hey, would you like to do a tutorial?" That's usually how some people start out. Like if you got a really cool project and you attend the show and tell, Phil will usually email and he's like, "Hey, do you want to write a tutorial?" So not just writing the tutorial, we thought we'd make a little like assembly video because we love doing video.
Yep.
So that's sort of where it started. We made the video and they're like, "Okay, cool. Do you want to do this project?" And we just kept doing projects every other 2 weeks, and I guess the rest is kind of history, right? It started like that.
Good history, though, right, gentlemen?
Yeah. So yeah, we've sort of been learning everything as we go, and we really don't have any traditional background in electronics. I don't have any modeling
Yeah, I
background.
think the only
go
thing
for it.
for electronics, the only thing I remember is like in 9th grade when I took like a soldering class.
That's
Like a
right.
simple.
I remember you had the soldering skills more than I did. I was like, "Pedro, solder this for me." But no, we quickly learned, so we know our soldering skills. How we got the 3D show is just sort of as we sort of kept making more projects, it just made sense to do a live show.
Yeah, I think Phil's mentioned it before. He wants to do like a
Yeah.
whole, like a whole weekly, like every different day. Like Tony DeCola is starting up doing Raspberry Pi Day on Fridays.
That's right.
So look up for a new video this Friday.
Maybe a live Raspberry Pi show's in the works.
Yeah.
We don't know. Don't tell nobody.
There's a little insider info for everyone watching. The chat's really silent, guys. Let me know if you're out there, and how's the audio coming across for these guys. But yeah, that was our little tidbit for the week. Tony's into doing his own, perhaps. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. I think I have things here. Some of the stuff that we're working on right now. Do you want to get into that?
I don't even have to ask the questions here, guys. They've got the whole script. This is great.
Yeah. Well, we try to zoom.
We did script this a little bit before,
Yeah,
so
it's just to keep us in line, because like we can talk like scatterbrain and go nitty gritty into details.
Yeah.
But
pretty sure you guys ended up filling out that script like a novel, though. So you've done
Yeah.
well. This is great.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, what are you working on, guys?
Yeah. So and we always like making sort of remaking things from like sort of pop culture, whether it's the video game or the latest movie. So Fallout 4 just is coming out tomorrow. So I've been, and Lamar actually gave me the idea, "Hey, why don't you make a Pip-Boy with a Raspberry Pi?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I've seen that done, but let's go ahead and try to do it ourselves and give out the files and make it a little bit more easier so people can replicate it if they
A
want."
lot of ones that are out there like so complicated to make.
A little
There's,
bit
like,
more
all these
harder,
little
yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, so I've been working on that. That's actually what I was working all day. My brain's a little bit because I've been in CAD all day. But Pip-Boy 3000, the Mark IV, using Raspberry Pi 2 and a 3.5-inch Pi TFT. So that's what I'm working on. And Pedro, you've already got a couple things in the pipeline. Some more camera stuff. We got a couple of camera bits and pieces in the Adafruit shop. We sort of help source those out because we just like having those things in our arsenal. Like
Yeah, it's so handy to have with all the 3D
Yeah.
printer projects for that. So yeah, like some new LEDs that are coming in the shop, some barn doors and stuff like that.
Okay.
More helmets. So Daft Punk helmet,
Daft Punk helmet?
yeah, the Thomas version,
To
like
go
using
with
like the flexible matrix that we have in the shop.
Wow, that's gonna be crazy.
Halo 5's also
Yeah,
coming out.
I want to make a Halo 5 energy sword because like,
Nice.
I like that. I think it'd be kind of cool. Phil's really been pushing a lot of cosplay stuff. So we're thinking a lot of folks that are into cosplay who typically don't put electronics in their stuff, or we might inspire them to start doing so. Like a little bit more than just LEDs.
Yeah,
So
we
more
keep seeing a lot of the
microcontrollers and sound
cosplayers are
cards.
getting into 3D, so it's a perfect fit, I think, with
Yeah,
I
electronics.
think it would be. Those cosplay swords, how long does it take to fab something like that? Even without the design, just the printing, because that is a lot of layers.
Yeah,
it could take anywhere from like 10, 20 to 30 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was your longest print so far? I think it was.
I think the first Daft Punk. Was
I think
about
it's the
30, yeah.
I want to say it's either the Link Shield or the
know
Wasp
what?
helmet.
I think anything that takes up like the entire bed takes about 30 hours.
Yeah, and like a spool of filament.
a spool or two
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's pretty sad when the fail prints, you know.
When it
I have to ask on the failed prints, guys. How often, and what happens when that happens in your shop?
It feels kind of like it's either, you know, maybe like 60%.
60% of the time,
success. It's like
That's
you know,
pretty good.
It's not too bad, yeah.
No.
in
But,
terms of like prototyping, it takes at least 12
yeah.
more times.
So we try to cut
tries.
things up more. So
Yeah.
that's the thing, a trend that we keep seeing is they just cut it up a bit more. So that's what we're always doing. I think you cut up the wasp helmet in like 3 pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you
just
kinda
keep the
reduce-
print down time
yeah.
down.
That way you can actually, you know, have a successful print instead of, you know, at the 90%, like the tip starts Z shifting. You're like, oh great, my
There
print's
goes the
like
whole
90%
2 days,
there,
yeah.
and the other 10%'s like totally crap. So
Yeah, especially when you're like rushing to get, you know, an episode shot. You know, it's like
Ugh,
when that printer you want to use is, you know, being occupied. You're like, crap, I gotta print my next project.
yeah, so by doing these, we're sort of not on a deadline, but we tend to keep ourselves on a weekly deadline. So that's helped us tremendously, like just develop, just how to work a little bit smarter. We tend to kind of toss like 1 week I'll do something, you do the next one in the week. So although we do work together, we don't typically work on one project together.
Yep.
So we're sort of off on our own, but we don't clash. We just bounce off ideas and things like that. I'll help you shoot and you help me shoot. So it's a nice little partnership, I'd say.
Mhm.
Bros always fight, so yeah.
I was going to bring up that topic because I'm just so curious. How is it that brothers can work together on all these projects that many hours out of a day?
Funny enough, it's not the first company we've worked together on.
We've worked for way too many companies together. It's
That's-
weird.
yeah.
It's like,
They always hire us like as a pair.
yeah.
That's
I don't know,
incredible.
I guess our mom, like, you know, raised us to like play nice with each other. But yeah, and that's kind of how like you got one printer and then I wanted my own printer and then
Yeah, because
we wanted two printers.
Yeah, when we're working on a project, it's like, well, how am I going to print mine? Yours is going to
That's
take
right.
like 10 hours to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, we had to get another one, and then as you know, we have to test all these printers for the shop.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
that's the real
duplicate
reason
them.
why I have a bunch of printers because you sort of like test them and sort of see if they're worthy to like sort of sell in the shop. You
Mhm.
know?
I have to ask as well then, if you guys work this many hours together, all these projects together, do you have common interests away from the shop, hobbies, etc.?
Let's see, hobbies, etc. That's what's funny. Like we've sort of turned our hobby into the full time gig. So we sort of blurred the line between fun and play.
Anything
So
that's like-
yeah, so what's really great about it is that like caddying can get boring, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well it's fun to like solder stuff and get away from that.
Oh yeah.
And then sometimes you're soldering way too much. And like, okay, now I want to record something, I want to
Mhm.
film something, for take a photo of it. So it's sort of nice to be in these different disciplines and sort of go here and there. I mean, it would sound like kind of hard to do it, but it's refreshing, really. You don't get bored at all.
Yeah,
So
there's
I like
always
that.
something different.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, guys. Great
Yay.
insight. Guys in the chat, remember, we'll have a little Q&A at the end with these gentlemen. Any of your 3D printing questions or anything to do with Adafruit, etc., please remember to throw them in at the end here.
Yeah, so I have a little thing here, like some advice or type of things that we've learned that we really like to tell other people.
Please share.
Yeah, sure.
I
So
think the number one way that we got the job was documentation.
Yeah, sure.
All the photography, all the step-by-step things. Definitely photograph all of your projects that you're working on.
Mhm. if
Some
you don't
people-
already,
some people
get
might
an
think it takes
Instructable
away
account.
from it, but you should start thinking of how you can add to it.
Yeah, even before like our 3D printing projects, we would always sort of document sort of little tips or lessons that we've learned because it goes a long way. Like those things kind of slip through the cracks like as you go on. So it's really nice to document your stuff, document tips. That
The biggest
people
thing,
don't have, yeah.
because a lot of like the little settings and things that totally make the project.
Yeah.
We've had to go back and look at our old project videos to see
How to do
what
that.
was the setting that I used to do this deformation on the 3D model or something like
Sure.
that.
I do that all the time, gentlemen.
Yeah, it saved our butts.
Yeah, it's pretty much like taking notes in a notebook, but
Mhm.
with photos and things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's online, so it kind of lives forever.
Yeah, so there's that. Like, if you don't have an Instructable account, try to set one up and try to share some tips that you find interesting that you're really excited about. And that's really what helped us out. When you're excited about something, you'll find yourself writing a little bit more detailed.
Yeah.
When you're driven to do that.
You guys finding Instructables is a great place for people to get a start?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that we don't have our own Instructable, but that's totally where we'd be at.
Yeah, I know. I think we might have one, but
It was always like on our own blog, which is great too. Instagram. There's just so many different places now. Google Plus communities.
As long as it's saved somewhere,
right? And you can always link back to it or tag it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good.
Another thing, I would say fall in love with like the process and not the end result, because you really got to get into the process of like making, documenting. Otherwise, if you're just looking for the end process, you might not get there. So it's really nice to sort of do it by pieces, but share progress is another good one too. Just sort of share what you're doing. Like you might not do a weekly project all the time, but it's good to see progress and get into that.
The process is the project in a lot of cases for me. I find I get more enjoyment out of. It's hard to make the time to document something, and I'm an epic fail at it. That's why I do videos, because they're much more convenient. But after the fact, I'll go back and try and find my notes in my silly little notebooks all over the place like this. And I often wish that I would have done a better job documenting it. And I have no doubt that I have failed when I share a project, and if I can't find that info or can't remember how to do it, then I probably have not done a good enough job at sharing it. So I think everyone should heed your advice and document the steps and the details as much as possible.
Yeah, totally.
Especially now, I mean, everybody has a phone that could take a picture. I mean, there's always a way to make that photo turn out, okay. That's.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be good photos either. Just as long as it's something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Other thoughts along that line, gentlemen?
I think consistency, right?
Consistency is always good, but sometimes it's hard to do it with a tight schedule. But if you can, like, try to set yourself in a schedule and just share progress.
That's a huge step for anyone getting into YouTube, guys. Consistency on the schedule is absolutely key. That's I'm maybe not the best person to talk about that, but for the most part, I get two videos out a week. Best case scenario, anyone, if you're putting out content, is to have it on specific days and be consistent, because the results will be good depending on what you're after. Even just getting it to the people who are interested in it, if they know when it's coming, they're more likely to catch it. The internet's constantly bombarding us with info, whether it be on YouTube, Instagram, blogs, you name it, and consistency is really, really key.
Yeah. Another one is, like, I guess when you're doing freelance work, like kind of doing other work, like, a lot of people say, like, don't work for free, but sometimes, like, monetary isn't the way. Sometimes it's just gaining experience. So I know for me, like, when I was in high school, like, I would do a couple of free things, but it was just because I wanted to build up my portfolio or whatever. So that's a thing to take away too. Like, if it makes sense for you, but don't work for free. Yeah. So that's one. If people are getting into that.
Absolutely. I like doing. Most of my projects are freebies, but work for work, and I am providing a value that I know is worth money, then I will charge for it. But when it comes to just sharing as a community and stuff like that, well, that's a whole other ball of wax kind of deal. And you can stretch your legs a little bit more and give a little bit more if the situation's right. I guess no real good way to put it.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
Cool.
Any other things that are in the notes? Find problems, build a solution to keep you motivated.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Like, a lot of the times, like, if you do something sort of kind of more on the offside that's more fun, it's hard to finish that. But if you have something that's a problem, you're more driven to finish it. A more personal type problem too, whatever it might be. But it's something broken around the house or something, It's always fun.
Those become the best projects, though. They're fixing something or solving a personal problem. I can elaborate personally on those. That I bought a couple of books when I started out in C++ to program and deal with, like, Arduino and stuff like that. Following those is pointless in comparison to building something that matters to you.
Oh yeah.
Blink an LED, absolutely. Everyone should do it, but don't make projects for the sake of a book or a video series telling you to. Build what interests you. Otherwise, you usually end up failing. People will leave it because they get frustrated. But if you're if you're designing I made a part for my vacuum, was one of the first 3D printed objects, and I had no idea how to use Google SketchUp, and that's all I had, and I watched a whole bunch of videos and just suffered through it, but it worked, and I made it through because I wanted that part. If that would have been some other guide by tutorial, I would have quit, guaranteed. Yeah. But at the end of it, I got the part and I fixed the vacuum. So
yay, that's awesome. Those are good. Those are good ones.
Yeah, love those projects.
Mm-hmm. Cool. One thing that we're starting to do now on the 3D show is sort of award folks for not just making a project, but sort of going beyond it, upgrading them, or making their own. So a lot of times we'll be searching for people that are just making some cool projects.
Yeah, that like take the time to modify it to whatever custom thing that they're using.
Yeah, make it custom to you.
I mean, we give out all of the source files, but rarely do people actually go in there. And when we do find that one person who did take the time to actually take all the free stuff that we give away and make something new with it, we're so happy that they taught themselves how to modify it. So definitely always take advantage of the modifiable files.
Yeah, it's a good starting point.
Of all the projects you guys have made, and there's been a pile in the last couple of years, which one would you, if you could pick one, what would be the one you're most proud of?
Man, for me, it's definitely Pie Girl, because a lot of folks are like parents, and they're building this thing with their kid, and it's so gratifying to see, like, oh, me and my daughter, built this Pie Girl, and it's like, it takes a minute to build it and to print it, but it's worth it in the end because you have this thing to play with, and that's really fun, and it brings them together a little bit more. So that's my favorite one. I've had, I think, like 3 or 4 different, dad type, father son, built it together, mother, type things. So that was my favorite one, and it's just a fun one to do. It's a lot of people have done it before, but it's still cool, I think.
I don't think I can name one.
Really?
Yeah.
There's gotta be one.
There's too many. I don't know. Maybe like the Gunblade or something. Just because it's like when you're a kid, you always like playing with. Yeah, you always like playing with like swords and things like that, and has a little moving piece on it. And even though it's just one of those hit print and go. I think it's pretty cool just because it's multi-material and just when you have this
I
giant
was gonna say that wasn't a hit print and go. I remember seeing that thing pop up on the show, and I'm looking at my Solidoodle 3D printer next to me, which is like encroaching 3 years old, and seeing something the size of that come out of there, I just couldn't fathom it. I was blown away by that build.
It worked! Yay! That's a realistic big accomplishment. It's like, I don't know. It's pretty big. That's why you have to print pieces. But, okay. Well, cool.
Very cool. So, you've got an audience of makers here on this channel. I'm sure you've seen a couple of shows. Any advice to them on getting out there and some of them maybe getting found, etc.?
Yeah. I mean, like we were saying before, always post on this different social networks and use hashtags and things. But if you're looking for, I guess, like a popular type of project, like, always follow pop, I guess, culture. The latest video game, the latest movie, find something that you like from it and try to recreate it, I guess, is one.
Any need to go through any courses, things like that, in your opinion? Or do you think it can be learned on one's own?
Yeah, I
Definitely
think
on one's own.
that's the great thing about YouTube. You can sort of spend as much time as you want on learning a specific thing or a specific app or a specific project. Somebody's done it, it's on YouTube.
This seems to be a popular thread, not just on this channel. The guys here have heard me harp about this numerous times, but the information is truly out there for the taking. And if you're interested in something, you can just dig in, and if there's a question you have, odds are when you just type it verbatim into Google, someone has asked it before. It's an amazing thing with these hobbies and the way tech is headed now. It's within 24 hours, odds are there's probably 10 other people who've worked on something similar somewhere in the world. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate of self-learning and using YouTube. I'm a video learner myself. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, as most here know, and forget mainstream TV. I'd rather sit down and learn for half an hour every night.
Yeah,
Yep, that was
that's our
totally how we
that's our
learned a
ritual.
lot of
Like
it, yeah.
after I don't know, like around 8 or so, we just catch up on our subscription feed and just
Mhm.
binge on
Oh,
all the
yeah.
projects and things. But yeah,
Mhm.
we also not just DIY electronics. We love watching a lot of woodworking stuff. There's a lot
Very
of
cool.
woodworkers out there, and make channels is awesome too. So there's just so many.
Mhm. And of course, we still look at like the like Adobe tutorials and like the 3D tutorials. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, just try to expand.
Tutorials.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Try to expand your horizon on
Sure.
everything, because it's all it all leads into everything that we work on.
I like watching Man at Arms. They make swords and stuff like
Yeah.
real metalworking. That's always fun too.
So we'll transition into the Q&A, guys. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat if you have any for Noe and Pedro.
Yeah,
There'll be a little bit of delay, so I'll lead off with one of my own.
Okay.
With respect to 3D CAD, designing your own parts, and you guys have definitely been down this road and have a lot of experience. If you were to start in with a program, freeware or not, just what is your opinion if you were to start today for designing in CAD? My background is SketchUp, and I detest the program, but I use it.
That's fun. Yeah, I haven't used SketchUp yet, but it's a good one out there too. A lot of folks, there's a lot of resources for that one. How I actually started on Tinkercad, which is kind of like it's like Minecraft, but like a little bit more,
Blocks,
a little bit where it's just like blocks, right? It's just like basic primitive shapes, but slapping them together is how I got started. So I would definitely say Tinkercad. It's a free browser-based CAD. It's super easy to use. It actually has built-in like little quests, like it's they call them quests, but they're like little lessons and stuff. Like here's how to recreate a little house or recreate a boat.
Mhm.
So that was my go-to, like how to learn if you want to get
pretty
into
powerful engine in the background.
Yeah, totally.
Probably if you're like a little bit more familiar with like sketches and know what your dimensions are, definitely 123D design.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I started a little series too a little bit ago. I call it my Layer by Layer series. Yeah, just on sort of the basic stuff. Yeah.
But if you want to just go ahead first, Fusion 360 is what we use now, and to students and to
Yeah, it's free.
It's free, yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
makers.
Excellent. Ken asked, do you have CNC machine as well?
We do not have a CNC machine. I don't think we have a plan to.
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
Phil
We've
asked us if we
friends.
wanted like an X-Carve, and
Yeah.
like, we don't want the project to
yeah,
be building it. We want something that's like fully assembled, but maybe, but
Yeah, I haven't got there yet. We definitely see the benefit of different materials and bigger, workspace area. But yeah, it's just something we haven't really dived into yet. It's a little bit more. You definitely gonna need the space for it. Like there's a lot of, debris and dust and stuff that you have to worry about.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're really into additive manufacturing. Subtractive is great and all, and there's definitely a whole plethora of projects to do with it. But it's just something that we haven't really focused on yet.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Have you guys got the chat feed up? I think Jordan's next. When did you start getting involved in the maker movement?
Yeah, I would say right when we got
the MakerBot came in,
Yeah.
immediately started uploading files, and even like with
Oh,
the
that's
when
right,
we had
yeah.
like the Etsy store.
Yeah, we
I mean, it was so funny. Yeah, we would give
didn't know what
away.
open source really was. We would give away the files anyway.
Yeah, the files that we gave away the most was the files that we had the most sales on. Which is
Right.
like,
Which is
this is
strange.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. David asked, what model of 3D printer would you buy for your first if you're buying one?
Definitely
FlashForge, probably.
the FlashForge. If you're in that price range, it's like 1,100, I think,
Yeah.
or 1,200, something like that.
Mhm.
But I would probably check out the Printerbot Middle Sample.
It's another good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, you can fall off a table and still work. Yeah, a little background story there.
I caught that background before the show, guys. It sounds like they had a bit of an incident, but it can take a knocking and keep on printing.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about it on the 3D show too. But yeah, next week's project is Octoprint using like the new UI that came out.
Yeah, mobile
for it.
UI. Yeah, just sort of checking it out. It's like a little review.
Yeah, so as we're doing like the the hero slide and shot, it was like on this table, and as it's like oscillating, going back and forth, it's like slowly going back off the table and just
it likes to
fell off.
wander. So,
But it survived.
yeah,
Kept printing.
Grippy feet is what we're gonna.
Grippy feet.
Yeah.
Nick
Tape,
asked,
something.
what's your favorite project?
Like I was saying, for me, this is definitely the Pocket Pie Girl. or any Pyro really, any of those.
Yeah, the props, and I like the helmet ones too. Things that you can like wear. Those are pretty
wearables.
cool. I like the wearable projects.
Okay. Cool.
Very, very cool. I think we are officially somewhat caught up on the comments. Very cool. You guys mentioned earlier, I lost the question. I totally had it. Was it you guys that were going to be working on more stuff with the Pi Cam in the future? Or did I get that messed up with someone else? Maybe Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Tony. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is doing more, I forget what project he's working on.
He's doing a lot of sort of iterative things using Adafruit IO, monitoring his cat, see if she's up to no good.
Yeah, I can quickly look at the chat. He was just talking about this. What was it?
There's a lot of stuff there, man.
I know.
Any super secret projects on upcoming that you can
we're
let
pretty
out?
Yeah, we're pretty transparent about it. Like we were saying.
Well, there's some that we can't talk about, like that's
a new
based.
board. From
Yeah,
some
no.
New board coming out.
Yeah, there's always new boards. Yeah.
Don't get in any trouble.
Okay.
Oh, it's very cool, guys. Have you? This is a really generic question. Adafruit took on some big changes lately, and now the North American supplier for Arduino. Have you noticed any changes? You guys are right up front. Anything new with the company that way, or is it pretty much we're moving forward?
Yeah,
they're pretty much on target. Like last time we were in the factory, it's just as crazy, if not crazier than it was last time.
Crazy. They're even though they're expanding, it's still the same core sort of mission, really.
Mm-hmm. We're not feeling like usually like in startups you start seeing when it's like starting to go down when especially because every startup we've worked at the CEO is usually not the one coding or not the one actually engineering.
No, yeah, I mean,
it's like a completely different story where
Lamar and the engineer team are just always they're working harder.
Yeah, they are
harder than us.
Busting ass every day.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And we really like seeing that because we know that they're not spending money on like some crazy.
Yeah, they are spending their money like incredibly smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like like I can't even like I don't even know like how the whole where exactly the money's going, but it's definitely being used. It's definitely being used. There's no like
like when you see like a Google
beer
or
machine or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're not focusing on that. It's like it goes, like new pick and place machine, like right away, like that type of stuff. So
so we were like working with Zynga. We went to their offices. It was like one of those Google offices where it was they're they have like 5-star chefs and like at every floor arcade machines, like foosball everywhere. It looked like a a fraternity house or something. It is totally not like that at Adafruit.
And it's good. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So from outsiders looking in, it's pretty clear that Adafruit is a very socially responsible company. Lamar and Phil, are they as cool in person as they seem from a distance?
Yeah, they definitely are. Very down to earth. If you ever get a chance to go to the Maker Faire, you can, they
spot them.
Yeah.
Say hi to them. Yeah.
A couple
They
people.
are super down to earth. Super chill.
Very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool, gents. I think we're getting there for time. Any final words for the crew out there in Makerland?
If you guys want to check out the show, we do it every Thursday, right? Well, I mean, we record it on a Tuesday, but we post it up on Thursday. And we might start doing a live Twitch thing.
We've done it off and on,
so we'll see.
Phil's been pushing for us to do more live stuff on Twitch, so
sure.
Definitely follow us on that. It'll probably be like us just doing CAD or stuff like that.
Okay.
But if you're into that, definitely check that out.
Yeah, for any of the viewers, you can catch Noe and Pedro on the Adafruit channel as well. If YouTube has been brutal for notifying of live broadcasts, and we all know this, and it's a weakness. So you guys might not be aware. Some of the viewers are, but if not, on the mkmeorg blog page, there's a dedicated page called Live Broadcasts. and I've put all the live broadcasts, the weekly broadcasts that I know of, including yours, as well as the Ask an Engineer, the Show and Tell, everything are a standalone Google Calendar appointment. So if anyone wants, you can go over there, and if you add that onto your Google Calendar with a notification, you'll at least get that ping to remind you, hey, I need to go to this channel. That's what I use. My Google Calendar pops up every week for all these shows, and I quickly navigate to the YouTube channel. So tasty tidbit for those out there.
Nice.
Noe and Pedro's show is on there along with many others.
Yeah, definitely. If you have a project to share, get on the Show and Tell. It's
yes.
It's really like a honeypot for discover other makers.
Right, other makers, other tutorials. If people want to, share their tutorials on the Adafruit learning system, a good way to do that is to come on the Show and Tell and share it with Lamar and Phil.
It's a good way to get like your sort of public speaking sort of.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was so nervous when I did the first thing. It's hard, but I encourage you guys to do it.
Yeah, it's a good
absolutely.
way to practice. Really good way to practice. Yeah.
That's a great tip. Show and Tell people definitely join in. It's a little tricky to get in, but
oh my god,
Right.
especially now.
Here's the trick how to do it. I guess since like,
they limited us
invites are a
on
little bit
how we
maxed
can
out.
do it.
Yeah.
The trick to get on, I guess, is just to keep your eye on the post, and when the time comes, either myself or Phil will post in the direct link for the Google Hangout so you can get on there.
It'll shoot you right into the Hangouts.
There always seems to be like one person that has like a mic issue. Like I'm not sure what's up with that. But maybe
try to check your mics before you go in.
Right.
Yeah.
Like run your own sort of test stream, see if your mic is working.
Yeah, do like a test like with your phone and your laptop, see if you're able to join your own Hangout, see if your audio is working that way.
Absolutely, queue up your own, or with just a single friend of yours, just to make sure. So I haven't checked mine recently because I couldn't. I had G+ issues, but my trick used to be, and I've been on a few show and tells, is on your G+ personal page, you have the event category, and you used to just be able to sit there and refresh that page and wait for it to pop up, and it would pop up, this event is live. It also used to be in the Hangouts menu, in G+ only, not the Hangouts that show on the right hand side, but they used to be able to watch those pages and just hit refresh, and that's how I used to get in, whereas everybody else was screaming. But things have maybe changed since then. It's been a couple of months, so.
Yeah,
try that too.
Usually I click on the direct link now. It used to come in as an invite, but now it doesn't. Even for us, it's like...
I know, it's so weird. We have to do the exact same thing now too.
So just keep your eye on that post on Google+. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, I'm really glad you guys got to join us tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out of your Monday night to join us and share your knowledge with the crew.
Yay! Likewise, thank you for having us on.
Yeah. We're always watching, even if we can't comment in the chat room.
We're always watching in the background.
Like, oh no,
we were there on Saturday. I just couldn't comment because the printer fell off the table. But we're there, and if you guys have any questions, let us know. Drop a comment in our YouTube video or here, and we'll be happy to answer you.
Awesome! Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We'll catch you later.
All right, Eric. Thanks, Eric. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Cheers. Bye. Awesome, guys. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to the fine gentlemen who joined us tonight. That was a blast. Truly an honor to have them here. A little celebrity action of sorts. That was pretty cool. Hopefully the audio and the video came across good. They had a ton of great knowledge to share, as I expected. They've got a ton of experience in 3D printing, the maker space, entrepreneurship, all the just great amount of info to share, and truly happy they could join us tonight. Thank you, gentlemen. And I'm just gonna catch up on the chat real quick. I've been trying to keep an eye on it, but it's so far off to the one side here. I've tried not to be not looking off camera too much. I think we're in good shape. Torn Tech says thanks. He subscribed. Excellent. I think David shared their channel earlier. If you guys don't catch it, I'll put it in the description after. My bad for not having it in there to begin with, because I had not even seen their own personal YouTube channel before this, and I think we should be subscribed. You can check them out on Instagram, guys. We didn't cover it a lot, but you can see their posts on Instagram. Routine posts, really, really good stuff. Awesome, excellent. And excellent, guys. Zach's going to catch up on it later. Tom said, Eric, where did you say the calendar is? Tom, if you go to mkmeorg, and then now the blog has moved, so click the blog link, or you can go blog.mkme.org. It's in the top right-hand corner, and it's a live show calendar or something to that effect. I can't remember the page name. Very top right. And that's where you can add all of the G Plus appointments, or ping me and I can add your live shows to the schedule. I know you were thinking about setting one up, Tom, so let me know when if you do that repeated. I would love to add it to the schedule. What do we got? We got 15 minutes, guys. Not a lot of time to go through. I did have some stuff laid out, but there's so much going on in tech news and everything else lately. Where do we draw the line? I'll just share a couple of things real quick. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Awesome. Love having people who can cover my slack. Thank you, gents, very much. Okay, guys. A little bit of news for... we've got some Canadian viewers here, so... drones get more popular and the rules are getting stricter. So long story short, Canada is now sort of not necessarily following the US with drone legislation, because we already have our own. What they're doing is looking into the smaller aircraft, the smaller quadcopters, aka drones, and looking at how they're going to manage that. But the beauty of this is, and I'm pretty proud to be Canadian in this respect, we already have legislation for UAVs, and people are using it. People get special flight permits all the time, thousands of them, for quadcopter filming events and hexcopter and stuff like that. Doing an awesome job. I'm hopeful that Canada actually does a good job with drone legislation, but it's to be determined at this stage. But they are moving forward with investigating it, but we already have a pretty good system in place, so we'll see what happens. Guys, this one's... I wanted to share this if I didn't get anything else shared tonight. So X Dubai, the YouTube channel, X Dubai has been pushing to get more publicity to the city of Dubai in the UAE. Well, he brought Eve Rossi back again, Jetman, for some of the most incredible footage that I have ever seen. This is Eve and I can't remember the other gentleman's name, formed up on an Airbus A380, largest passenger aircraft in the world, and they did some amazing coverage around Dubai. Just incredible. Well, this isn't the only video. There's another one with the background info, how they did this safely. Well done. But another flip side of this, and you guys know I give YouTube a lot of credit and social media. Well, this is the future of advertising right here. If you're into marketing as well, it's another interest that I'm always watching where things are being marketed. Forget mainstream media. X Dubai is dumping their money into producing social media videos with good reason. 11 million views inside of just about a week on this video with good reason. They did an awesome job. Crazy amount of coverage, cool stuff, neat tech. Who doesn't like a jetpack flying with an A380? Totally cool. I thought I'd share that one. It blew me away. They did an awesome job. And yeah, lots of people have seen this video. And Ken said, very brave to be that close to the jet wash. Yeah, what they did was incredible, forming up on an A380, that because of just the air disturbance behind it is immense from an aircraft like that. So pretty cool. Loved it. Very neat. Quickly, what do we got for time? Good 10 minutes. Last week, the International Space Station, 15 years of housing astronauts up there. Totally cool. Good job to all the nations involved in supporting the International Space Station. I love it. I love that that thing is up there. I love the content that comes out of it, the experiments and what's going on. I can't say enough good things about it. Totally, totally neat. So that is just a couple of the tech news items, guys. I will have to cut back on the rest because we simply don't have enough time. And Torn Tech. David said, actually, scratch that. I like your channel. I honestly think you just need to get more videos out and share it on G+. I'm going to have to check out. I don't think I have seen Torn Tech's channel. I'm going to have to check that out. And Glitch said, and better yet, those 11 million were like, oh, this is awesome, and not another commercial. Yeah, very, very neat. Love it. All right, guys, let's get, where was I going to head next with this? Just a couple real quick community announcements, guys. So the Hackaday Prize, I've talked about it enough. It is officially judged and over as of today. I don't know when the judging was actually, but today they actually mentioned that we might be notified. I got an email from Hackaday that to join live on Saturday via Skype for the awards ceremony. So we'll see how that goes for the gas sensor project. Pretty cool. The website, guys, I mentioned this last week. Big changes on the mkme.org site. I've fleshed out a little bit more of it. This is under construction, but the main site here now will have links to multiple different projects pages, lots of different upcoming ideas and crusades of sorts that I'd like to do. So keep an eye on the main site. It is constantly under work. As well, blog submissions. So if you have a cool blog story or a YouTube video or whatever that you want shared that would live forever on the mkme.org blog, well, on the right hand side here you can submit your blog article and be a writer for mkme.org if you so choose. You are more than welcome, and as long as it's in good taste and aligned with the content, I will post it, guys. So cool. Zach said, hope you win. Thank you, Zach. I'm a little excited about it, to be honest. I try not to get worked up about too many things, but this one, it's got me a little bit excited, so we'll see where that goes. Let's see, back to if I can get monitor. There, got it. Excellent. From the shop, guys, this week, Projects Without Borders project. This is a big piece of it. The OuterNet satellite receiver showed up, and a quick video is just an unboxing and explanation of what the OuterNet satellite receiver is. I just wanted to touch on this because I did let the cat out of the bag a little bit. I've been talking about this new project upcoming, and I did put it out in the Atmel interviewed me, the chip manufacturer, and I put one little blurb in there about an upcoming project. So I'll tell you guys right now real quickly. The plan is I'm building a large-scale project, multiple, well, at least 2 Pis, multiple displays, self-contained, solar-powered battery, solar charging battery, as well as normal charging on board. It's going to be a portable classroom as well as can be used for other purposes, such as in disaster relief. And I won't go into the specifics of all the things I have planned for it, but basically this thing will be a man-portable device to offer technology in areas that don't currently have it. And this OuterNet satellite receiver, that was a big piece of it that I didn't expect. I thought I was going to have to take all my content with me or rely on cellular towers. Well, now I have the ability to do all 3. I have content taken with me to in this device, as well as the cell downlinks, as well as SAT downlinks. So it's going to be an awesome project, guys. You're going to see some videos upcoming on the channel. It's going to be a big one. It's going to take me a lot of time. I've been working on it for several months now in the background without videos, just laying the groundwork for the software and the content and the systems. And you guys have seen some of them on the channel on the mailbag, such as the Pico projector and stuff like that. lot, and I'll leave it at that. You guys can put the pieces together, and you'll see very, very soon. It's going to be an exciting project. Really, really looking forward to it. Glitch said it's going to be an awesome project. Awesome. Glitch said need lots of solar panels. Awesome. Cool. Steven's here. Hey, Steven. You're going to have to catch the replay, buddy. All right. What else do we have here? Sneak peek, guys, upcoming this week. Video on RGB LEDs. Really quick one. Nothing major to it, but I have another project. I needed to do some multicolor LEDs. Actually, I wanted a single mode indication LED for the gas sensor grenade project, because that thing isn't even over. Even though the Hackaday prize thing is over, I'm going to keep working on it, and I wanted a mode indication LED on it, so time to fire up an RGB LED. Do a quick little tutorial. I think you guys will like it. Multiple new mailbags coming up. A whole bunch of parts came in lately from a couple of different manufacturers. A lot of it is for this upcoming big project, but some other stuff too, some kind of neat stuff. I think you guys are going to like it. So going to have some mailbags and some more or less like 2-minute videos, just quick stuff. So it's going to be good. Are you kidding, David? David said, no, Eric, I have RGB LEDs coming up. That would not surprise me. It seems that David and I take parallel paths. Usually I'm lagging him, so if I get ahead of him this time, I'm not going to feel bad, David. That's funny. That would not surprise me at all that you've probably got a video already edited and cut and ready to publish. That's kind of funny. That's the beauty of the maker scene, guys. It's a beauty of open source, sharing knowledge, collaborating together as a community. It doesn't matter who publishes what, we all benefit, and there's no competition here. I simply love it. So I am going to laugh, though, if David publishes an RGB video. That's going to be funny. Awesome, guys. I think that's it for tonight. Really appreciate you joining me tonight. I hope you had a fun time. Thank you to Noe and Pedro for coming by. Thank you to all you guys for giving them a warm welcome. They're truly awesome guys. I love what they're doing. Love sharing the knowledge with you guys. Good luck in all your ventures this week. Build something cool and make sure you share it with the world. Share it out on YouTube or any of the other socials. Remember to hit me up via the socials linked below in the description. I would love to see what you're making and show it here on the show. I have a pile, the stuff that's been shared in the G Plus community. Don't worry, guys, it's not lost. I will show it next week on the live show. I'm keeping all the slides that I haven't showed yet. So your content will get featured if you post it in the makeme.org community. Really, really appreciate it, guys. Good luck in all your ventures. Cheers.